Hi everyone, this is Suchit. I'm starting this new series of videos to discuss about Oracle 19c Multitenant architecture. So we'll start with basics of multitenant architecture, and then we'll explore more and more advanced and complex and different features inside multitenant architecture. So it is a basic it is a beginner's course. So if you have no knowledge about multi-tenant architecture, you can still join, but it is not a beginners for Oracle DBA. So I assume that you have uh, Oracle DBA knowledge and experience. You know the database architecture and how the database engine works. So we'll focus only on multi-tenant architecture. I will publish series of videos. Um, So today we will discuss only on the overview of multi-tenant architecture, what it is in a very high level, and discuss the benefits of it. So let's start. So multi-tenant architecture was introduced by Oracle in 12c. It is a license option. So if you need to use this multi-tenant architecture, you need to have separate license for it. So what is a multi-tenant architecture? It enables Oracle database to function as a multi-tenant container database, and container database can consist of one or more pluggable database. So basically, you can have multiple, more than one or maybe one pluggable database plugged into a container database. So on PDB, what is a PDB? PDB is pluggable database, is a portable collection of schema objects, non-schema objects that appear to an Oracle Net client as non-CDB. It's pluggable database is exactly like one database, the one you used to have in pre-12c. In 11g, when you had one database, standalone or rack, so those database will now calling non-CDB. So all the Oracle database prior to 12c, where the multi-tenant feature was not available, they call in 12c also. If you are not using multi-tenant architecture, then we call them non-CDB. So pluggable database, if you connect to a pluggable database from a client tool, a SQL developer, SQL Plus, or from application through Oracle Net using TNS, then you will feel as if you're connected to a fully independent, full-fledged one database. You will not see any difference, but that database will be, in fact, will be in the backend. It will be connected to the part of a bigger container database. So it's in a way you can Oracle way of consolidating a lot of small database inside a bigger container database for easier management. So I'll just explain in this diagram, very high level. So if you have this you have this container database, and you can see this container database maybe, and so you have this input pluggable database like this, multiple pluggable database. So let me explain you in a very high level what happens is, so in a non-CDB, in 11g or in 12c, if you're not using multi-tenant, so you have one instance, one database, and in that database contains all the data dictionary views, system tables, which the application data, we are creating a schema, or when we're using the database, it uses all those data dictionary view and system tables to function. And those data dictionary view and system tables are common for any database. If you install any database, those metadata information will be there in every database. So what Oracle has tried to do is they created in a root container. So it will be this is root container, and this root container will have all the metadata of the database, which is common to all PDBs. As I said, if you have DBA tables or DBA statistics, there are some statistics, some table information is used by all database common everywhere. So those information will be stored here in the root container, and the metadata information which is very specific to that PDB. So you have a DBA tables, you need to store table information for your table metadata information for your business table, application table. That can be stored here. That can be stored here. But the table metadata information about tables to function the database can be here. So each PDB will combine the data from here and here to function. So this data is not, this metadata information is not replicated everywhere. So it has a lot of benefits. We'll discuss all the benefits also. So just I'm trying to explain how it functions. So this PDB becomes like a kind of, you can say, is lightweight database. So all the instance belongs to the CDB. So each PDB will not have a separate instance. So all the SGA management, PGA, memory parameters, memory management, everything is maintained at CDB. So you have one instance, so you don't have to manage multiple instances. And so it helps in your patching and upgrade and other things. And so there are very basic table space management, user management that is being done in the PDB. So this is a very high level structure how it works. So let's go back and just look at this diagram I've tried to explain here. So CDB and PDB. So everything is a container. So this is as I said, this is my CDB container database itself. So here and here is a root container which is called CDB $root container, and to this root container all the pluggable database will be plugged. From release 12.2, Oracle has introduced something called application root. So let me explain you in a very briefly. Application root container function exactly same as the similar way as a root container, but it works on the application metadata. So if you have an application and that application used by multiple business unit or business group in your company, or if you are selling a software as a service product to multiple clients, so everybody has to, and you are maintaining their database. So if you have 10 installation of the same application for 10 business unit, so every application has the same metadata. Like every application will have same schema, skeleton structure, same set of tables, same set of master data. For example, list of countries, list of states in the United States. These are metadata for the application to function. So that is common for every application. If you have 10 installation of your application for different teams, everybody will need the same table structure, schema structure. Everybody will need the same metadata information. So Oracle has introduced this application root container. So you can host those common metadata and common structure in the root container, and each application PDB will contain the data which is specific to their business unit, specific to their application. So it's a very specific use case. If you can use it if it fits your uh, business scenario. It cannot be used for every application or every database. And you must have seen one seed database, PDB dollar seed and application seed. This seed is like a skeleton structure of a new PDB or template, you can say. So every time there are different ways of creating pluggable database. One way of creating pluggable database is to create from seed. This seed is read-only database. You cannot open it for read write. And so if you create a pluggable database from seed, then you will then it is just a template. So it's just a skeleton structure of a PDB. So it will just copy all the structure and files and create a new PDB for you. And these PDBs are very easy to kind of plug in to a container and unplug it and plug into another container database. So it's very easy to manage. So every CDB has one root container, as I explained. System container. So all this root container, all the application root container, all these PDBs, everything combined as a logical unit, that is called system container. You will not see people using the system container, this term, very often, because a lot of people may not be aware of this system container, but that is okay. Then application container, you can have 0 or 1 or more application container depending on your business needs. And there are multiple user created PDBs, either normal PDBs or application PDBs. And there will be a seed PDB. Every root container will have one seed PDB. So this is how the structure goes.